welcome back to the Matrix. In the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger. Daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments below. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $112,850. And we are still just chopping. Remember that time, guys, when Bitcoin was at 110? I said we're going to go to 118 and then chop. Between 125 and 112, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, chopping in between 125 and 112. Still, to this day. So I made a video earlier talking about the moving averages. It's just pass fail. We're still clearly way well into a bull market. This isn't even threatening. This is what a threaten looks like. Let me show you what a threaten looks like. This is a threaten. We are not even near that. We're not even close. Here is a threaten, right? Until you actually change. Here's a threaten, right? We're not even close, ladies and gentlemen. Not even close. But where we are close is Bitcoin Dominance. Bitcoin Dominance is about to be in a bear market. And I want to make something clear. I don't trade moving averages. It's a lagging indicator. It's a pass-fail to show you where you're at, to keep you in the right flavor. And we talked about this, guys. Like, we talked about Bitcoin ranging. We talked about the total 2 and Ethereum doing the thing that it is very rare when you get to an all-time high that you break above the all-time high. You typically get rejected before finally breaking out. That's what happened over here. Same thing from 2021 to 2024. This rejection, finally break out. Same thing right here. This is the previous all-time high from 2017 to 2020. What do we see? Rejection, finally breaking out. Same thing. Again, why am I saying this? It's a very important note. It's very important to note. It's very rare on any asset that when you reach the previous all-time high that you just break through it the first time. It doesn't happen. Why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because of Ethereum, because of the total 2. What just happened? We broke above the all-time high. Rejection. Back test of the prior range. We got rejected off of the all-time high. Back test of the prior range. Oh my God, Ski. The sky is falling. Bear market. We missed it. From a breakout, higher high, and a higher low. Sky is falling. How quickly people's sentiment changes based off of price is is hilarious. How quickly people feel bad about something just based off of, what is Ethereum down this week? Let me see real quick. I don't know. What is it down this week? Let's see. Ethereum is down 10% this week. Bitcoin is down 5%. After being up 100% over the last 100 days, Ethereum is now down 10%. How quickly people change how they feel based off of price. It's hilarious. And guess what? Friday, when JPZ comes out and speaks and says bullish things, talk about September, guess what? We're going to feel amazing when Ethereum is back at 4,800. Guess what? That's not that big of a difference. We're talking a 10% difference. How good we will feel. How bad we feel. Very hilarious. All right, let me show you the total 2, because it's the same thing as Ethereum, by the way. Higher high of the all-time high, breakout backtest of the prior range. Beautiful. Here's the all-time high, 1.7 trillion. What do we see? Rejection. By the way, this was what the past time that we got here. It was deep, right? And we fought This was the ceiling. What was the ceiling? 1.5 trillion. We could not get above. We could not get above. We could not get above. Big rejection, reaccumulation. What do we have right now is a higher high and potential of holding what was the ceiling back in December as the floor. All right. And with that, let's get into you guys' questions, comments, concerns. I want to give you actually some micro analysis on Bitcoin first. I lied. Psych. You thought for 500. I talked a bit briefly. We talked about the RSI on the 2 hour. Yesterday, we talked about this being the most oversold that we were since April 7th, right? We talked about this. The most oversold we were on the RSI since April 7th. Now, what happened? This is a good sign. Now, I'm not willing to put my stamp of beard bet approval on it just yet, because I think some volatility can happen between now and Friday. But I'm going to say that the bottom is forming. Generally, too, I would be concerned right now if we were pumping into the Fed meeting. The fact that we're dumping into it consecutive days is a good sign to me. A very good sign. All right, so what do I see right here? This is what we call a divergence. I look for this, tops and bottoms. Now, it's on the 2 hour, so you have to use a little bit of discretion because that's a pretty small time frame to look at this. So, what am I talking about here? This is the same thing that showed up in April. Okay? What is this? This is the price is going down, the RSI is going up. Okay? That's what that is. Price is going down, RSI is going up. This is a bullish divergence. This is a sign that a bottom is starting to come in. All right, and let me give you an example of how this happened. Let's go to the daily. Same thing happened over here, right? So what you see, the price was going down. This is on a bigger time frame. Price was going down. RSI was going up. That's a bullish divergence. That's what happened. Hey, make sure. Hey, Peanut. Make sure she's okay. Zoe?
Oh, yeah. She called for you?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening.
Make sure. On the phone. Yeah. All right. With that, let's get into you guys' questions, comments, concerns. We still pumping into October, November? Yes, this is, listen, let me give you my oversimplification. Just texture. Oversimplification. Ethereum and the Total 2 attempted to make an all-time high. That's what we led with. We're still in the most bullish posture. We're still in a bull run posture. Not even close. Bitcoin Dominance is in a bear market posture. Very, very close. What happened? I led with showing how no asset. I've yet to find an asset that just rips right through the all-time high the first time. You typically see a few rejections, whether it's over the course of a week or two, or whether it's the course of over a month. But it's pretty rare that you just rip right through it. Okay, so that's what I led with. What happened with Ethereum? That's what we did. We attempted to make an all-time high. We backtested the prior range. Same thing with Total 2. Attempted to get it above an all-time high. Backtested the prior range. Okay? So nothing about my analysis has changed. All right? Full-on bullish posture still. Higher high. Backtest. Prior range. Attempts to get above the all-time high. Rejection backtest. This is common. Not only is it common, we map this out for you guys. All right, so macro, I'm bullish. September, I'm cautious. I'm cautious for September. I think we will pump into the September 17th Fed meeting, and we're going to have a temporary pullback. But that would imply that we're going to be higher than we are today, right? Probably 20 to 30% higher. That's what I think. I still think others by that time is going to get to the 702 Fibonacci retracement. I am very bullish for October. I'm very bullish for November. All right, let's get into the questions, comments, concerns. Are you longing now Bitcoin and ETH? For me, JK, I am pretty neutral on Bitcoin. For me, Bitcoin is properly valued. My analysis on Bitcoin since April was 118,000. So 118,000 to me is fair value for Bitcoin. I think we'll go higher than that, but that's fair value for me. So I'm pretty neutral on Bitcoin. Ethereum, a little bit less, more bullish, but pretty neutral. To me, the plays of what I'm looking for is others, right? That to me is the plays. So that's outside the top 10. All good, Peanut? All right. What's up, Ski? What do you think about Z-Back? I'll take a look at Z-Back. Help, Ski! We're looking good to start. Longs. I think so. I'm definitely looking for longs here. Like, I'm seeing a lot of fear for sure. I'm seeing a lot of, like, negative comments. That's a good sign. That's a fantastic sign. How about the total 3? Let's look at the total 3. Obviously, not at a rejection, right, of the all-time high, because it's definitely a little bit slightly behind, I believe. Let me see. Let me not just talk out of beliefs and let's talk out of facts. How about that? I don't know. That's the answer. So yeah, basically the same thing. Slightly behind total 2, but you could argue it already made an attempt to get above here and got rejected. So this would be like it's working on attempt number 2, same as total 2. Ethereum has picked up a lot. That's the thing that we forget. Like, Ethereum was just at 2,100. It was just there. Not like, 7 years ago. Not 7 months ago. Not even, I don't even think it was 7 weeks ago. Right? It might be 7 weeks. It was just at 2,100. June. Is that 7 weeks? It might be. It might be. 57 days. I think that's 7 weeks. That might be 7 weeks. That's not a long time. I know it feels like an eternity in crypto. That's not a long time. That is 9 weeks. Is what it was. JK says, so you're looking at others. That means alts are good to start bidding based on what you're saying. Like, I've been playing Bitcoin. To me has been my favorite play. That's what I've been trading. I've been like heavily, still technically Bitcoin is still my largest holding, right? But my price discovery point for Bitcoin, and it's an important distinction to make. Okay. I'm going to show you. Okay. Okay, here we go. So right here, basically 118,000 when we reached that point was a fundamental structural standpoint, Bitcoin reaching price discovery. Excuse me. And price discovery, and why it's important, like I'm talking about rejections at all-time highs, right? So technically 74,000 was an all-time high. That's not price discovery though, right? Because it's still the same structural level as the previous all-time high. It's slightly above. It's in the same flavor as the previous all-time high. right? So this was an all-time high, but this is not price discovery. I'm talking from 2017 to 2020. That's not price discovery. That's an all-time high, not price discovery. Price discovery is a full firm leg above the previous all-time high. Okay? It's an important distinction to make with Bitcoin and with others because it relates 100% to your question. That's where 118 is a full leg higher than the previous all-time high. Okay? A full leg higher than the previous all-time high. Bitcoin is in price discovery structurally right now. Now, why am I saying this when it relates to others? Okay, so first of all, let's measure Bitcoin from the previous run. From the C19 crash until Bitcoin got into price discovery, Bitcoin does an 8x. The show was all about Bitcoin. From the C19 crash until Bitcoin gets into price discovery, January 6, 2021, the show was 100% all about Bitcoin. And the idea is alt season is canceled. Alt season is way lagging behind. Alt season's canceled, blah, blah, blah. And that's feelings, that's not facts. That's based off of feelings. That's based off of emotions. That is, however, not based around facts. What do I mean? So I have the same date circled, January 6, 2021. This is Ethereum. This isn't others. We'll show others after this. But this is Ethereum just to show you. Same date. What do we notice from Ethereum? It's at its bear market lows. Bitcoin does nearly a 10x. Ethereum is still at its bear market lows at the same time. All right? The biggest misconception. Ethereum goes on to do another 5x from that point, where Bitcoin only does a 50% move. That's it. Bitcoin only does a 50% move from the time it goes into price discovery. I think the same. Like, I'm thinking 20%, 138, aka, to 207, 80%. So you could call it 50% again. Sure. Ethereum does a 5x. All right, now let's show others. And why it's important to me. Not only that, but what am I seeing from Bitcoin Dominance? Continuing, falling off a cliff, making lower lows, making lower highs. The moving averages are full on about to be in a bear market on Bitcoin Dominance. All right, so Bitcoin is in price discovery. And here we go. Here's others from the same time, just for reference. Bear market lows, but it's dead ski. It hasn't done nothing. Bitcoin already did a 10x. Others hasn't done nothing. HBAR hasn't done nothing. Solana hasn't done nothing. ADA, it's at its bear market lows. VeChain, it's at its bear. So literally everything was that way last time, but in our brains we remember this euphoric moments, but that's not the reality of what took place. What took place was Bitcoin did a 10x and then everything else went. Not before, not during. Then. Okay? So here's others during the same time frame after January 6, 2021, during the same time others does a 10x. No big deal. Right? So that's the point, what I'm saying. The difference between facts and reality. Real quick, I'll show you Bitcoin Dominance. We talked about the structure of being in a bull market. The bear market looks like this. I'll show you real quick. This is pass fail. 200 is on top. 100, 50, 20. That is pass fail. Bear market. That's what it looks like. Okay, when did it break that structure? When Bitcoin was at 20K, March 10th. It broke that into a bull market. And we've been in a bull market ever since then. Okay? All right, this is pass fail. 200 on the bottom, 100, 50, 20. That is a bull market. Okay? We are not even close. 200, 100, 50, 20. Until this breaks, it's not even coiled up. Look how far apart they are. Until this breaks and the 200 gets on top, we are in a bull market. Okay? But let's look at Bitcoin Dominance. So that's what a bull market looks like. That's what a bear market looks like. Okay? How about Bitcoin dominance? Falling off a cliff. The 20 is on bottom. Then the 50. 200, not quite on top, but very, very close. This could happen next week. Maybe 2 weeks. They are half of a percentage from each other from Bitcoin dominance being in the most bearish posture. Okay? All right. Somebody was sending me a bunch of galaxies. Jordan, my man. I appreciate you, bro. Let me read some of the TikTok comments. It's going to 105. Tell you for free. Yeah, sure. It will. At some point. After others does a 5x. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Z Capital. Long time no see. Bitcoin going lower to 105. I agree. It's going to 105 after others does a 5x. You're right. You're correct. After the show is over, after you FOMO'd back in, after you sold your bags at the bottom, after you buy back at the top, you are correct. It will be going back lower to 105. Correct. You are correct, sir. What do you think about Pendle? It's all right. Let's go ski. Bullish divergence. Bullish divergence indeed. We still pumping October? Yes. Wait, finish your thought. What was my thought? Do you have any concerns? I do not have any concerns. I am standing here unfazed. My targets for XRP are 5, 8, and 12. D&T, please ski. I went heavy in this one. Bro, thank you for all the galaxies, you freaking maniac. He's a maniac. He's a maniac. All right, let's check it out. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the support. All right. Good accumulation. Technically still the same thing though. Bearish posture still, but very coiled up, very close. You're seeing a cross to the upside, almost getting in bullish posture. You're putting in higher highs, higher lows. I don't mind this structure. It already hit the retracement of 16 cents. Parabolic is 62 cents. Timeline for others. My target has been since 2022, November of 2022. My target has been November of 2025. That is still my target. You think Radium is a good buy? Radium is solid. Decent bit of inflation, but I think it is a solid play. Liquidity sweep before the next leg higher. I agree. Listen, like what's happening on Friday? It happens. We do this every year, y'all. How many times y'all gotta watch me that I say like a few days before Mr. JPZ speaks, there is liquidity that gets grabbed. A few days after Mr. JPZ speaks, there is liquidity that gets grabbed. It happens upside and downside again and again and again and again. It happens. They're going to get it to the upside afterwards too. And then guess what? We're going to be back to where your regular program schedule. And that's it. I agree. Thoughts on September? September historically for Bitcoin is the worst performing month. Listen, rate cuts are going to happen the 17th. We think in our brain, again, that's another, like, in our brain it means awesomeness, or in our brain it means terribleness. Well, our feelings are about a certain thing, but the reality, the data does not support that. So September historically is the worst month for crypto. September historically is the worst month for stocks. The only time that September is bullish for stocks is in an election year, historically speaking. Other than that, it's absolutely the worst month by far. I think it's going to be temporary. I think it's going to be short-lived. But I am very cautious about September. Now, I am very, very bullish for October and November. November, the average return for Bitcoin is 40%. 40. That is 6 years of stock market gains in 1 month. That's the average for how much data? 10 years of data. Bro, thank you for the galaxies, you savage. Or what is this? This isn't a galaxy. What are you giving me? Star map Polaris? Bro, thank you. So we are cooked, we're not cooked, bro. Literally all I've been talking about since April. This is what I said since April when Bitcoin was at 25K. When Bitcoin was at my God, my brain is moving faster than my mouth right now. 75K. When Bitcoin was at 75K in April, I said we were going to go to $118,000 and then chop. Okay? And then I reaffirmed it when we got to 118. When we got to 122, I said we will chop between 124 and 112. That's what we're doing. Okay? And I even talked about Ethereum being at an all-time high. Total 2 being at an all-time high. I talked about many, many cases where it is so rare that you break above the all-time high the first time around. You typically get rejected again and again and again before finally breaking out. That's what I think is happening. That's it. DNT distract. I'm watching the all-time monthly. $40 to 80 cents. I don't know if I can ask you, but do you think Sui's on his way short term? Ski, I'm watching. Bro, did I answer you? Am I late? Am I lagging on the comments? The Coinbase chart is Iggy. All time looks better. Okay, I got you, bro. Let me see if I can find a better chart. I do like this. You're right. You are correct. I do like this chart better. There's much more of a clear distribution, which I think is much better. The bottom end, though, same thing. Like, it's flirting with flipping bullish, having lots of signs. What are you doing? So retracement is 26 cents. Parabolic is $1.20. So yeah, that's right. You did find a better chart. This looks a lot better. I like this chart way more. Take profit for Link. My targets are 38, 78, 178. You don't answer about Sui. I don't love Sui. Sui has too much inflation. I was never a believer in Sui. I never drank the Kool-Aid. Thoughts on institutional money affecting market cycles? I'll believe it when I see it. It has yet to happen. I'm on a long since sold since 1776 for tonight. My targets for Solana long term are 420, 510, 600, low, medium, high for this cycle. What should Bitcoin holders do? I guess just keep holding. My targets for Bitcoin have been since 2022 when we were at 16K. My targets have been 118,000, 138, 207. Those are still my targets to this day. When XRP was at 30 cents back in 2022, my targets were $5, $8, $12. Those are still my targets to this day. If you want like an analyst who's gonna like, you know, just move in and out like a ninja and just do all this crazy stuff, that's not me. Like, I'm super macro, super slow, and that's like serves me, and I think a lot of times it serves you guys because I'm not super emotional and I don't move whichever way the wind goes. And I like when we're pumping, I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit, and when we're dumping, I'm gonna be the voice of reason. Says, you're a Chad, not gonna lie. I never listen to anyone, but you know what you're talking about. I appreciate that, bro. My whole thing, bro, is honestly, I don't even want you to listen to me. I want to teach you how to fish. My goal is not to be anyone's savior. My goal is to teach you how to fish, and you rely on yourself. And you can get opinions from other people, but the source should be coming from you. That's my goal. Like, eat with me, feast with me, rather than me fish for you. That's my goal. Hope y'all buying the dip. Sol doing funny things right now. Just put a 200 on XRP. Everyone is saying dump. Fantastic news, Nick. Fantastic news. Guess what? I have never seen everyone be correct. Never. I promise you, like, so here's, if you're new to my channel, I'm known for my TA. I'm known for my Wyckoff. Like, I'm a Wyckoff. That is my bread and butter, technically, for sure. I'm going to tell you, like, half of my analysis on everything. I try to figure out, what does retail think? Do they think we're going up? Do they think we're going down? I've never seen them be correct. Never. 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 Honestly, when I get flowers from everyone, I get worried. When everyone tells me how much of an idiot I am, how wrong I am, I'm like, okay, good. Thank God. My analysis is correct. Thank God. Thank the heavens. Because I've never seen retail be correct. Never. Retail thinks alt season is canceled. We're not going to let that one slide, SM26. Retail thinks that alt season is canceled. That's what retail thinks. Fibs don't lie. 100%. Fibs don't lie, but your emotions do. Fibs don't lie, but your emotions do. Richard D. Wyckoff himself. Predictions for Ethereum. My targets from Ethereum since 2022 have been 3,300. Check. 7,200. And 12,000. Those have been my targets since 2022. Low, medium, high. Also, okay, so this is a good point. Who said that? The Real Monkey says, one piece of good news. It's a short squeeze party. Could happen at any moment. That is like a misconception that we have. Is maybe I should do a different chart. So we have in our brains that, you know, it's just going to go down And then when we're in a bull market, it goes up. And that's it. Only up. Only green. In reality, though, in the midst of this, you see 30, 40. Like, let's look at Ethereum. This is my favorite thing to show. Where is Ethereum? Let me go. All right. Like right here, I have this like little white line right here. This white line, this white little squiggly, represents this red candle right here. Red, like week or two. It's supposed to represent it so you can see it, because it's hard to even point it out. If I zoom out just a little bit and see this entire like bull market, it's hard to even see this red candle in the midst of this bull market, right? Do you understand? Do you understand? This is a 36% correction. It doesn't look like, it just looks like a blip on the radar. This is a 36% correction. Okay? It's hard to even see it. That's why I put this here. All right? And the point of that is, just like he said, a lot of times what is required, what is necessary, is you have to sweep liquidity in order to spring you higher, or vice versa, right? You have to make these violent moves up or down that are like a Allen Iverson crossover, Barry Sanders juke move, and they get you the momentum to get you to the next level. I never see a violent move upside that wasn't shortly followed by a violent move to the downside. Almost all of them are like that. Right? Almost all of them. By the way, what just happened? Like, how far do we have to look to see this play out? Ethereum went from 2,800 all the way back down to 2,100 in a matter of 11 days. 26% correction. What did that do? That sprung us to the next leg higher. It's exactly what it did. All right, I'm not trying to give you hopium. That's the reality. He's Dick Wyckoff. With a name like that, no wonder he spent all his time indoors. Hi, brother. What platform do you use? I would like to get off Coinbase. I use BitUnex mostly for trading. Mostly. I'll use Blowfin as well. Mostly I use BitUnex though. I'll use Blowfin if they don't have the trade that I want. The trading pair. Big D, thank you for the gifts. The Real Monkey, thank you for the hanging lights. Thank you for the roses, Irish Dano. Thank you for the corn, Christine. Bro, Jordan, my man. My man Jordan went crazy in the chat. What are you trying to prove, Jordan? I appreciate you, brother. My man went crazy. Thank you guys for all the gifts. I think I missed some. Hopefully not. Hopefully I thanked everybody. I appreciate you guys. Link take profit levels. My target for Link, again, since 2022. My kid's portfolio, one of the bigger plays is Link. Most of their position is $6. You might be like, Ski, you're cherry picking. I promise you, it spent 500 days at $6. No, I am not. All right? I am not cherry picking. It spent 500 days at $6. All right? Let me show you. Look at all this. My target since back here has been 38, 78, 178. AVAX targets 180, 240, 320. Do you think ETH will go lower than 4,000? 39.9. I mean, that's a rounding error, bro. That's not what my channel is. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. Not really. Relatively, though. I keep accumulating so only can hee hee. Yes. It's still November. November. Still, to this day. To this day. To this day. All right, guys. This is just a quick one. I was running super late today, but I'll be live tomorrow. 5 p.m. Central Time. Be there, be square. All right, I got to put the kiddos to bed. But that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. For the love of God, do not get scammed. I'm not going to message you. I'll message you back, but I'm not going to message you and say, how's your trading going? That's not me. Okay? If you want to set up a portfolio review, personalized exit strategy, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram, hit me in the DMs. I will message you back if you message me. And we can set that up. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Peace, love, prosperity. God first, God bless.